John, it's certainly been a tough time for many, but now we're seeing this outbreak on Sydney's northern beaches. There's a lockdown and a lot of uncertainty surrounding Christmas Day. How might people be feeling right now?
Well, I know how the people of the northern beaches are feeling. I live in the northern beaches, and it's a weird feeling. We're all obviously hoping for some relief when Gladys Berejiklian speaks at 11 a.m, but it just does highlight the continuing level of uncertainty. Human beings really need two things. We need contact with other human beings and we need certainty. And that's been the two things that we really haven't had during COVID, during 2020. So from that perspective, it's come back again. And not only people on the northern beaches, but for people who were planning just a few days ago to fly home to Brisbane or fly in from Perth, all of that has been shattered as well. So we're talking about tens of thousands of people whose travel plans have been disrupted and hundreds of thousands on the northern beaches who may have a very different Christmas. So we're seeing continued uncertainty, and uncertainty increases people's mental illness and their risk of mental illness.
Lifeline is expecting calls to increase by as much as 40% this Christmas. What is contributing to that?
Well, there are two things. The first thing is obviously COVID, the stress and pressure related to that, the fact that it's, if you like, back again when people thought we were on top of it. And the other thing is, and it's really worth remembering, that it's 12 months since the fires got really bad in Australia, particularly Victoria, South Australia and New South Wales. And we spent 3 months with the fires doing phenomenal damage, taking people's lives, destroying villages, destroying people's homes. And, you know, we are still getting between 200 and 300 telephone calls every day from people affected by bushfires. So it's not just COVID, it's people who are sitting at home remembering on Christmas Day that just 12 months ago this devastation hit them. And for many, they're not back in their own home. They mightn't be able to rebuild a home where they were before. They've lost a job, they've lost a loved one. All of these things continue to hit people in the bushfire communities as well. So let's not just think about ourselves and how our Christmas plans have been disrupted by COVID. Let's continue to remember people whose lives were devastated in the bushfire. So those are the two main things driving it, that level of uncertainty and memories from 12 months ago.
Yeah, it's certainly a long rebuilding process, that's for sure. John, I want to ask you about these new penalties that have come into place. It's a world first under Australian laws for online trolls. People could face fines of around $111,000. Is this a step in the right direction?
Oh, it absolutely is. You know, one of the contributors to increased mental illness, I think, around the world, but certainly among young people and in Australia, is social media. I mean, people will say to other people on social media the most horrible things. They will say things they'd never have the guts to say face to face, and they do it with abandon. And they can really do damage to other people. They can tell them they're fat, they're ugly, they should kill themselves. I mean, horrible things, really damaging things people will put on social media, will put into the Twitter world, whatever it might be. And these things can do enormous damage. So yes, anything that sends a message to people who want to use and abuse social media in particular to destroy the lives of others, to diminish them, to attack them and to push them towards suicide, anything we can do to reduce that is a great thing.
Yeah, absolutely. John Brogden, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me this morning.
And before I go, I just want to remind everybody that they can call Lifeline 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. During Christmas, we're there for you. Don't suffer in silence. Don't suffer alone. It's okay not to be okay in these extraordinary times.
Absolutely. Some great advice there, John. Thank you. And just repeating that, if you or anyone you know is feeling distressed, you can call Lifeline on 13 11 14 or visit lifeline.org.au/get help.